Hey guys, it's Angela and welcome to my channel. So just like the video said, it is going to be a full face, get ready with me, my everyday makeup look, but I'm not telling you what brands I'm using. But yeah, we're just going to play with makeup, get ready. I got some other things I have to film today, and this is just my simple-ish glam but natural makeup look. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I do is I prime my eyelids. Now when you prime your eyelids, it's gonna create like a sticky base, and that's gonna help to your eyeshadows stick. Now some people like to set it with a powder, like a translucent powder or even a nude eyeshadow. I don't like setting it because I feel like then my colors don't lay down as much, or it's too powdery. So I'm just gonna quickly prime my eyelids. Another reason why I like to prime my lids, just to kind of show you a side by side, it creates a nice neutral base where like my veins aren't coming through. However, sometimes, not as often, but sometimes I will do no primer. And that's because like I will use like the natural oils that's on my lid to do some stuff. Okay, so once my lids are primed, I typically will do my eyebrows. If I remember, there are days where I don't remember to do my eyebrows first. So I just run, currently what I'm doing is I run a clear brow gel through my eyebrows, and then I go in and fill them with a powder. So I ran that clear brow gel, you can't really see anything because it's clear, through my eyebrows. Now I'm just using an eyeshadow powder. I found a couple shades that's been working for me, and I just like to look and see where it's kind of sparse first and barely touch and just kind of fill them in, make a little bit darker. And then I'll even like brush it out. So you can see one brow is done, the other one still left to go. It doesn't make like a huge difference, but it definitely makes a difference once you put eyeshadow on. And then I'll just go back in one more time with that clear brow gel if I need it. To get started, I am going to go in with a like coolish tone taupey color. So it's tan, leaning on the taupe side, and it's ever so slightly more cool tone. And I'm going to lightly buff that up above my crease. If it gets into my crease a little bit, that's okay. I want that to be my transition shade above my crease. So if you want, I'm kind of like tapping it on and then using like a circular wiper blade motion to really get that buffed out nice and soft. And if you barely put any pressure on, that's when you'll get like a really nice gradient soft edge. I know, like barely any color on it, but I said that this is a more neutrally glam look, so bear with me. Next, I'm taking a slightly darker color. So I'll do a swatch. This is the first color I put down. This is the second color I put down. So yeah, picking up that slightly darker color on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to really focus that in the crease and on the outer V. So I really like the idea of this no brand makeup look because it's all about working with colors and the products that you have. And like everyone can achieve that look then by using, if they have like a small variety of colors and palettes. Plus it's getting down to makeup, which is what I love. Like, next I'm picking up a very neutral nude color, kind of like on a flatter synthetic-y flatter brush, and I'm just gonna put that on my lid to kind of clean up. So if we're talking like bare minimum 6 colors to like create makeup looks, I would say a bone nude color, a good transition shade, slightly darker shade for slightly darker than your transition shade, some sort of shimmer that you might like if you like shimmers. If you don't like shimmers, don't worry about it. Go with like another matte, maybe even slightly darker than these two shades, and black. Like, those would be the 5 colors I would say. If you need a 6th one, I would throw in like another shimmer and a highlight. Small little thing like those. If you have that, you can create a lot of makeup looks. Next, I'm gonna take a angled thin brush and I'm going to find a black shadow, and I'm gonna load that brush up, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna go right up on my lash line. If you want to intensify it, you can even like spritz it a tiny bit. So now you can see the difference between putting some black on and how that starts to waken the eye and no black shadow. Okay, so now that I got that done, I can either stop there, but because I'm filming today, I am gonna do a wing, but I'm gonna do a wing with my eyeshadow, which I like doing this because it's a little bit easier if you mess up to get off, but at the same time, like, it's a little harder to control because it's a powder and it can go pretty much anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of look where my eyebrow is and come straight down and just draw a little line like that. From the point, I'm going to bring it into my eye. Moving into my foundation, I already put it on the back of my hand most of the time. All right, picking that up on my sponge. And I always start on my cheek first because that's where I have a lot of my pigment, and I like to cover that. And then I kind of don't pick up any more product and I just diffuse it outward and blend it in. And I don't like a ton of product on my nose either. So once I kind of have it placed on my nose, I'll actually go in with the side I'm not really using and pick up more of that product and diffuse it out. And I like the tip point because then I can kind of get up in here. So again, most of the product is going on that pink area where I want that color kind of covered. And it's funny because then I go in and I put blush right there and it's like, but it's a different type of pink. Next, I'm gonna go in with my concealer for my under eyes, and I kind of look if there's any trouble spots I want to cover up or highlight. I'll also do it there. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm highlighting and brightening today. So a little bit on my chin, just a tiny bit, and I'm just putting a little bit down here by my crease because on my nose, because they're looking a little red today. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Just a little bit here because I have a few blemishes. Once I get that pretty out with the, I'll go in with my finger and just kind of. And then if you looked, I kind of just put concealer here. I didn't go all the way over because I don't need as much here. So I will tap it out here in my crease and then just lightly bring that color over, but not add all that color there. That keeps it light, not super cakey, and it saves product. And then when it comes to this area, if I need it after I've already concealed my lids, I'll just barely tap that in there. So on the daily, I don't set my face. I will just be using whatever powdered products I want. So I'm going to go in with my powdered bronzer, and I'm using a pretty big brush, and I'm just gonna mostly place it here and then like lay it kind of flat against my face and do this, and this will diffuse the color all over. And I personally like my bronzer to mix with my blush a little bit, so I'll even tap it down here just a tiny bit so you can kind of see the difference. Up on the forehead. And I don't know if it's because of the brushes I use or the bronzer I use, but I don't get, oh focus, I don't get any streakiness from my brushes, and it also doesn't pick up any of the foundation underneath. So I want to intensify that just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna use one of my angled face brushes, and I'm just picking up a darker color, and I'm gonna pop that right here, basically like cheekbone and right underneath, and a little bit, but I'm not picking up any more product down here on my jaw. Going back to the eyes for just a minute, I'm going to pick up the very first and the second colors and kind of mix them on a brush together. I'm just going to buff that on my lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to curl my lashes. And then I'm going to pop on some mascara. Guys, just a good mascara. I wanted to show you like the difference. Ugh, I love mascara. Like, that's probably my stranded on an island one makeup product other than sunscreen. It would be mascara. All right, next I'm gonna pick up a mauve blush. This is a different angled brush. I love this brush so much. Get yourself a good angled brush because it's good for contouring, it's good for blush, it's good for the jawline. After a very short, quick breakfast, Nate came home and made me breakfast. So good. I popped on a lip liner, and now I'm going to take a small brush and a little bit of setting spray and a nudie shimmer, and I'm gonna pop that on my inner corner, just like so. And I think I'm gonna put a tiny bit on my brow bone as well. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Just depends on my mood for the day, if my eyebrows are done, because I don't like to highlight eyebrow hairs. And then I'm actually just going to use that same eyeshadow color and just barely pop it on as a highlight, kind of like a glow from within, because then I'm going to take my sponge that has no new product on it and just tap that so it kind of diffuses into the skin. Okay, I'm gonna take a mauve nude color like this for my lips, and then I'm gonna put this color, it's more of a sheen lipstick over top. So this is what the first color looks like. That's what it looks like together. So you could definitely stop here with the makeup look. It's a good everyday makeup look. You got a tiny touch of glam, but it's super easy, not a ton of shimmer. But I am going to pop on a pair of lashes and then jump right back on. All right guys, so I popped on those lashes, and this is the final makeup look. It's a super easy, soft glam, slightly on the neutral side. I don't want to say natural, but like neutral. And yeah, this is like my go-to almost everyday look. Sometimes without the lashes, sometimes with the lashes, just depending on how much time I have. I hope this inspires you that maybe you don't need the exact brand that somebody is using, but if you have very similar colors, you can definitely achieve the same look. That's how I got started with makeup, is just watching people and then applying the techniques that they had with the colors I had to work with. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this no brand makeup tutorial where I shared a few of my tips and tricks with you. If you guys have any other things you want to see, let me know by commenting down below. And if you're new here and haven't joined already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time that I upload. And I'll see you in a brand new video in a few days. Bye!